Hey, what's up, YouTube? Back for another video on the KT Hoops channel. I just want to thank everybody that's subscribed so far and for watching and supporting the first video. As I say, continue to subscribe, give me feedback on what you think I can do better, the content you may want to talk about. But I want to thank everybody and appreciate everything that everybody gave me in the first video. Also, I want to give a special shout out and rest in power to Coach John Thompson, one of the best pioneers, especially amongst black coaches. And he coached some of the greatest players ever, from Allen Iverson, AI, Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing. His impact on the game was immense, and he did a lot for a lot of young black players that were coming along in the 80s and 90s, and just want to give him a shout out and rest in power to that brother, and also to brother Chadwick Boseman. He was very influential in his short life with the Black Panther role, of course, with Jackie Robinson, specifically in sports, James Brown. He made a lot of young black people be proud to, and especially children, be proud to display who they are and show their pride in who they are. So salute to both of those brothers, and rest in power to both of them. So let's get going. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the impact of the three-point shot in the NBA. Has it made the NBA weaker or stronger? In my point of view, the three-point shot can be good if you use it properly. To me, some people overindulge on the three, especially when you don't have the shooters to do that. I think a lot of people fell in love with the Golden State style over the past 7 to 8 years, with coming down, firing up threes, driving, kicking, and sometimes not even making one pass, just step over the half-court line, shoot a three, come down on the fast break with 1-on-3 shooting threes. Everybody can't do that because everybody doesn't have that personnel. The personnel really should entail what your team should be. Like I said, everybody doesn't have a Steph Curry. Everybody doesn't have a Klay Thompson. Everybody didn't have all Kevin Durant, all three of them on one team. When you have that specific talent level, it makes it look fantastic. It's like fool's gold. When you see those guys, they are top 10, all three, when they're healthy, top 10 NBA players. So it makes it look very easy, as if every team should follow that format. I would say I like the versatility of the older teams, because you had different specific styles. For instance, of course, you had the Showtime Lakers, where they can get out and run. They wanted to push the pace, but if they had to slow down, they had something to fall back on, and that was either throwing the ball in the post to Kareem or James Worthy. The Detroit Bad Boy Pistons, which to me, they were actually a revolutionizing team, because everybody knows them for the bruising and Jordan rules and just being hard-nosed, tough defenders. But people don't realize that they were the first team that won a championship that was really guard dominated, with Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson. They were really guard dominated. They had Bill Laimbeer, who did not have a back to the basket game. He was a pick and pop guy. He'd set the screen and then he'd pop out to the corner or to the pinch post and fire that 18 to 19 footer, and sometimes he would step behind the line and shoot threes. But that being said, Detroit really was a revolutionary team because they were the first really team that had the pinch or pop out or stretch four and stretch five, and Bill Laimbeer and James Edwards. Then of course you had the Celtics. The Celtics, Larry Bird, Larry Legend. He could step out, but he also could take you in the post if he had to because he was 6'9". You had Robert Parrish, the Chief, and you also had, besides Kareem and Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin McHale. That guy had the best back to the basket game. His footwork was impeccable. Head fakes, up and unders, anything you wanted, Kevin McHale can give you. Then you even had your teams like the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors. You know, even back then they played small ball with Run TMC, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, and Tim Hardaway. Go Google those guys. They were the first Golden State really guard-oriented team. But the difference back then is you had so many dominating big men back then. And the small ball really couldn't win you championships because those teams back then didn't really shoot threes as they do now, and they didn't exploit the big men like today, like they exploit the slow big men of today. That's why you can't be a slow big man. You got to be a guy that can move and guard these quick guards when they switch off, because if you can't, you're not going to last in today's league. Not saying that's good or bad, because I think Shaq, Kareem, Hakeem, all those guys, they could play in any era, but I would love to see them try and guard someone like an Anthony Davis or Jokic, even, you know, Robin Lopez, or I'm sorry, a Brook Lopez. Even, you know, KD plays five sometimes. So comparing the eras, I really don't specifically like to say one era is better than the other, because you never know. But I would lean more towards the older era, because to me it was more diverse. The guys had mid-range game, they had post game. You had to work on your craft back then in order to even survive in the league. There's guys that I know now in the league that no way can play in the 80s because they haven't developed their skills. You know, you got to develop your skills, especially back then, because the defense was much more tougher. Hand checking was a big obstacle for people that were trying to get around on the dribble. Now, guys can't even put hands on anymore. You can't you can't forearm check. You can't really do anything to the offensive player. That's why the game is so much more wide open compared. I will say that it's so much more wide open. That's why the game is much more guard oriented, because you can't have the big man in the post clogging the post. Because if you have that guy clogging the post, these guys can't really dribble and penetrate. Want to give you some stats though, just to back up, you know, my point. The league average in 1988. I pulled 1988 because Reggie Miller, that was his rookie year, and to me, Reggie Miller is arguably one of the greatest shooters of all time. So I wanted to just prove a point. 88 was his rookie year, and Reggie Miller in 88 shot 2 threes a game. 2 threes for Reggie Miller. Today's average, 2020, the league average is 29 threes a game. 29 threes a game. More than triple what it was at that time. But that could be fool's gold, because let me read you a stat also. The Lakers averaged 112.8 points per game on 50% shooting from 2-point range, 29% shooting from three. But they only shot 6 threes a game. The Milwaukee Bucks this year, 2020, 118 points a game on 35% from three, 47% from two. Now, 118, and they shoot over 25 threes a game. The Lakers averaged 112 and only shot 6 and only made 2. So just imagine if the Lakers just upped their three-point percentage by 5. They shot 5 more threes. They shot 10 more threes and made 5 of those. What's that? 5 plus 3. So they would be, or 5 times 3, they would be averaging 15 more points a game. So they would put up 120, 125 a game. So you take it for what it's worth. I'm not saying any era is better. I just know what era I would lean more towards because of the diversification of the league. I think that that it was a lot tougher. So you had to have a lot more skill to me in the league back then because the lane wasn't open like it is now. And so the three-point shot to me has been a crutch for a lot of players. So I think the rule changes has also weakened the league, but the three-point shot has become a crutch for a lot of players. But that being said, there's a lot of skilled guys still. KD, LeBron, AD, Steph, Clay, Kawhi, Greek Freak, Kyrie. You know, I think these guys can play in any era. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Hit me in the comment section. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button so you can get my videos when I put them out. So let me see what you think. And like I said, thank you for the feedback. Give me more feedback. I want to know what you're thinking. Give me your opinion. And thank you. Hit that notification button. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at KT Hoops. Subscribe to the KT Hoops channel. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.